Yeah, so guys, now this is a 3.0, strings 3.0. Now I want to educate you about how we can start from the end to the beginning. What if I have to use the, you know, reverse order? Okay, so let's say I want ENOD and then space B till G. Is it possible? Can we do and slice this the string in this way? So let's go and start this. Okay, so here we have some colons, right? So this is what we need to fill. Now let's say you say that based on the understanding which we have got so far, I'll calculate the position of E first of all, right? And what I'm going to do actually, I think just to make the calculation simple, I just keep this. Good job. So let's say that I say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it starts with 6, right? And then it has to go till up to 0, right? And the -1 is the direction. I think this is the logic we should be writing here based on what we have learned so far, isn't it? Let's go and run this and let's see that what is going to happen here. Okay, see, I got here B, and then O, and then J, and then space, and then D, and then O, and then O, right? But because this, parameter is says up to, so this is not going to be included. But is this actually possible? I mean, isn't it a big challenge if Python doesn't allow us to uh, extract the first alphabet if we do the calculation in the reverse order? There must be some way, isn't it? Because this is up to, we can't change this, right? But I'm only trying to tell you that this is also one of the approach you can follow. Just in case if you do not want, let's say G, like for example, you say I want BOJ, right? So you can always write here that it has to go up till 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can write here 4. We are calculating the index from the left side, isn't it? For B also and for the value up to also. And this is just telling us basically -1 is basically that if I start from here, then it has to go in the reverse order. If you say -2, then obviously it will jump by one character. So let me run this. I hope I'm making sense to you. See this, BOJ is coming, correct? But this is not how we actually refer when I have to do the reverse calculation. Okay, I'll tell you how we can do that because you see, first of all, there is a flaw that if I have to go to if I have to go till last character, this you can't write here -1. It's not allowed, right? It's not allowed. -1 is not the position. It starts with 0. But when you write here 0, it says up to 0. Then it is not going to be included. So what you're going to do here when you're writing, because you have to start from B, so you can simply say I want to start from -1. Don't calculate now the positions from left to right. Instead, start thinking in the reverse order. So for the reverse order, this is going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, and -9, and so on. Okay, so let's say I say that I want to go up till what? I want to go up till, let's say, -20. I don't have those many characters, right? But still I'm just writing it. Okay, if I run this now, let's go and run this. Look at this now. You got here the G. 20 is the buffer. I know I have taken the extra buffer, but that's fine. I'm just explaining my point. Okay, so when it is calculating, extracting the field, the value from the reverse side, from the end side, you use this process -1. It's easy for us, isn't it? Now what happens if I copy this? Let me ask you guys, tell me what happens if I say -2 and let's say I say -5, for example. This is what I say. What are you going to see? Let me comment this line. uh, yeah, -2. So when it is -2, it means that your cursor will be here. Did you notice one thing? When you are saying -1, you're not saying -0. I know that I'm saying something very funny. I mean, obviously, but you see, I'm trying to say that from the left it is always 0, but from the right side it is always going to be -1. There is no -0. So once again, guys, let me take you to the Excel. I think that will be a good idea. Suppose this is how it is, right? So we have here good, and then and then there is a space, and then good job. Okay, this is what it is. So this will help you in understanding this. In case if you're still actually finding it difficult, though I think it's very simple. But let me do my part. I can't because I understand the things. I simply cannot take you for granted. So this is how it is. So you see, the rule says that when you're trying to slice and dice the string, right, from the left to right side, this is going to be 0. This is going to be 0 index, right? And this is how the calculation actually starts. 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is always the left to right. Left to right. But if you have to do the extraction, if you have to start from the last character, then please follow this. This is -2, -1, -2, -3. So these are the indexes which I'm actually writing here. And the rest of the concept remains the same. You got the point, right? This way. This is how you should follow the things. -8. So let's say if I want, as I said that, we want, let's say, BOJ. So then in the when you're slicing, so your position will start from -1, and then you will go up to the -4, right? And then you will say that this has to be -1. This has to be -1. As simple as that. So -1 and then -2, -3, because it is up to, so this will be excluded. I hope now this is making sense to you. Okay, let me come back to this. What will happen if you, as I was telling you that if you start from -2, fine, but what if you go and say 1? Is this going to run? Because you are saying that it has to be 1, right? So see this now, what is going to happen? The process is finished, but you don't see any output. So you have to go and, give the movement because you're skipping. So you have to write here -1. You have to write here -1 so that it should know that it actually is going to take the values from backward in the backward reverse direction. So we start with, see, we start with O, and then after the O there is a J. So if you follow this, the rule, if you follow this picture, you will never have a problem. Trust me on that initially. Okay, now see, one more thing I want to tell you. For example, now let's say I want to pick J and O. J and O, right? You know that J and O I can pick starting from here also. So if I need, let's say, JO, this is the output I need. So I can say that, okay, so we can see from left to right. If I have to see, this is 5, right? So your index is going to be 5, the starting position, and then O. So where is O? O. So I have to go up till 7 position because O stands at the 6th position, correct? So I can write here 7, and then because we don't have to write this one, it is understood because left to right it is always understood that you will go one by one. You don't have to jump, so you don't really need to write it, right? So if I write here this 5:7, what will happen? So let's come back here and say that X, I want 5th to 7th, for example. Okay, and let me just comment this. I have a point here. I want to actually discuss that. I want to bring more clarity on this part. So if I start from 5 to 7, we should expect here JO. Fantastic. Now, do you not think that, if instead of calculating the 5 to 7, because remember right now it's easy for us to here to check the position, but if you're looking at the Python screen or on the pie chart, you may prefer that, I think the best way is that from the reverse order also we can do the calculation. So we can say because for me, when I look at the Python screen, I think for me the J is easy if I say -1, -2, -3, right? So what if I say, see this, pay attention. I say that, okay, so J stands at -1, -2, -3. So I can write here -3 also, right? Now from -3, where I have to go? Well, from -3 I have to go to O. So basically up to B, right? So -1. Yes, that's the point. -3 to -1. Now your direction is again left to right. So you don't have to write here. You don't have to write here -1, remember, because you're not going in the reverse direction. Whether you do 5 to 7, or you do -3 to -1. In both the scenarios, you're always moving left to right, isn't it? Like for here also, we were going in this way. So we don't have to write the another parameter, the third parameter. Here, when I'm saying that, I have to use the -3 and then -2. Again, you see, you don't have to write -1 because -1 will take you in this direction, reverse direction. So by default, it is always 1. So you can say, you can write this in this way also, that -3 to -2, and then you don't have to write the third parameter. Make sense? So if I run this, see that, what is going to happen? Let's see that. Wow, fantastic. Beautiful, right? So these things are very important to understand. And yes, just in case if you want to write a1 and you want to write a1, that's perfectly fine, but don't get confused. Don't get confused that, I was taught in the training that if you're starting from here, then it has to be -1 or -2, depends if you want to skip the characters, right? Yes, I said that, and that's true, but you also need to see that whether actually you're going in the reverse direction or you are actually coming here and then moving from left to right. This is also important. So if I'm moving from left to right, for me, I think -3 is more easy because this is a long calculation. If I start calculating the index 5 and 7, and remember, let's say if I write here DONE, and now I want to start from O, I think -3 is easy for me, other than I start counting that what is the index of my this D from left to right. Okay, so anyways, I mean, see, you have to decide how comfortable, in which type of the order you are more comfortable, but you should know that all these things, they are very important. Okay, this is how it is. And what happens if I put here, by the way, what happens if I put here -1, right? So if I go and put here the -1 and I put the uh, let's say this comment out, and let's run this command. Okay, you see that you will not see anything because you say that -3 to -1. Basically, if you refer to this, or if you refer to your the math, you're actually trying to move from left to right, isn't it? So -1 has no place. So such things, again, I'm repeating, very important for you to understand. Okay, so this is basically wrong. This is wrong way. You cannot go in the, you cannot use -1 because you are moving left to right, even if the indexes are -3 to -1. Okay, so the correct one is that you should not use this, or maybe if you have to use it, keep it as 1 according to this situation. Okay, that you can do. Fine, so I hope I have make a sense, and please remember, I will not be able to give you this Excel file. I mean, this is just a simple thing. You can just go and you can just kind of uh, pause the video and you can simply go and create this. I think it's pretty easy for you to understand it, right? It's a very normal thing. Fine, guys, then let's meet in the next lecture.